Good morning slash good afternoon, guys. We are here in Seattle, Washington, and we're actually here to watch a couple of baseball games. But right now, we are at Payne Field here. So this is where the Museum of Flight here, a very famous place to go if you're in the Seattle area. And I think me and my brother are gonna check it out. We got a couple hours to kill, but for the meantime, let's check out this aviation museum. So we've made it inside the Museum of Flight here, and just for you guys to take a look here, I mean, every time I come in here, it's just crazy impressive. You got the plane that the Wright brothers flew, you got some float planes, you got like Amelia Earhart's plane just over there. It's always a cool place to check out. What's your thoughts on the museum?
It's very nice. It's very big.
Let's go take a look. So this is pretty cool. This is the old airmail planes flying all across the US to deliver mail, which is pretty sick. There's a little bit of telephones and ATC, air traffic control, that you'd use back then. I mean, this place never fails to impress. You got a GB here, which is, I find a very interesting plane. It's so short and stubby, which is kind of fun. Got like a J3 Cub over there, which is interesting. And I think that one's more of the J3. That's another variation of a Cub. Some float planes here. This is de Havilland Beaver. Really cool. You see a lot of these guys still flying around. This is the SR-71 with the DC-3 flying right above it. Yo, check it out in the cockpit. Yeah. So how was it sitting in the cockpit of the SR-71 Blackbird?
Very comfortable. I couldn't imagine going at any speed above like 30 kilometers. But
yeah, man. Hats off to those people. Can't believe they did it. Anyways, we're in the lineup to do it. I believe it's like an F-18 cockpit. Just sitting there. Check it out. Check it out. Sick cockpit. I don't really think it's made for tall people at all. This plane's nuts, man. Can you imagine like a stray bullet goes in there, you're screwed, bro. It's crazy. Check out this one too. Woo. Crazy. It's crazy to see all these different planes that were used in the wars and stuff like that, and their designs. Like, this is just nuts, man. The infamous Huey, known as you can see in like so many Vietnam movies. This is gonna be the helicopter that's gonna be in it. Pretty nuts, if you ask me. Yo, check it out, man. You're late for work, you take a little flight, get there just in time. We're now underneath the SR-71 Blackbird. This thing is nuts, man. Check that out. That thing used to be the fastest aircraft. Not anymore, but still crazy. I don't know. These are two drones here. Yeah. Unfortunately closed. As you can see, there's some damage to the aircraft, but nonetheless, that's a really cool part. I've been in their other visits, so it's pretty cool. We're gonna head up. They have a little air traffic control tower that you can kind of see. Take a little look over Boeing Field. So we're gonna make our way up there. Check it out. That's the mock airport air traffic control, and you can hear a lot of the live radio transmissions going on right now. So one of the pilots was just cleared for takeoff, and you will shortly see them take off. It is a smaller plane, so they're probably going to take off around that half mark. But this is the whole Apollo 11 section of it. Look at that, that's a cool suit. You got portions of the rocket, that's like and the thrusters, which is absolutely massive. I mean, from me perspective, it's pretty massive, man. There's just one of them, the head. See? That's about like 5 of them. That's insane. The Saturn V. Crazy. And here you have the actual spacecrafts that they used. Got a little moon sample right here. Cool light. Look at that. Crazy. Let's head up to the World War I section before we head and see the rest of the World War II. But this is the cool stuff, man. This is when aviation really jumped. A significant step was during the wartime efforts, man, to create the next best plane. So it's always so sick to see. Let's check it out.
You know the one where it's
These are very crazy planes because they're very minimal light. Like all these are all like fabric and stuff, like the wings and stuff. So it's pretty crazy. You can get shot down and boom, there's your life. This is what like a trench was like. Would be a very unfortunate scenario to be in here, man. Not too fun. Not fun at all. Check it out, World War II section. We got a Spitfire to start it off, man. Iconic plane right there. Misher Meat right here. Oh, another icon. We got the P-51 Mustang. This is probably my favorite wartime bird. With a model of it back home, and man, this is just one spectacular work of art. Crazy. It's one of the coolest ones, man. I love this plane. Love the folding wings and everything. It's crazy. This one's pretty cool too. Some Japanese planes right there. These were probably some kamikaze ones, man.
Yeah. Your phone?
We've made it to the space section, man. We got a little mock space shuttle here with some satellites above it. Let's go check what's up inside, man. And this is kind of the inside of it, man. Pretty cool. We got a bunch of pictures and stuff over here. And then the cockpit would just be down there. Pretty cool nonetheless. Check it out. B-17 Flying Fortress, man. Pretty gnarly. Gnarly for sure. Then you have the Concorde right over here. Supersonic passenger jet. Oh man, is that a B-29 or what is that?
I think that dance is gonna like get you the final
B-29 Super. So this is the plane that dropped the bomb on Hiroshima. That's actually nuts. That's beautiful, man. Dude, imagine boarding this plane. 3-hour flight, New York to London.
I don't feel fit in this place, man.
Pretty low. But check out the little cockpit here, man. This is engineering marvel right here. So much that had to go into designing this. Got little coffee machines here, man. Then look how tight it is, man. Like, I'm barely fitting in here, but it's so tight. Pretty claustrophobic nonetheless.
Oh, I can feel the static in my head.
Mach 2 at 55,000 feet now. Super high up. You know, toilet, 2 toilets.
A lot bigger than that.
And then the rest. That's cool.
See, it's not height positive.
Oh, yeah. It's real low. But here's the rest of the airport, like the little hangar they got here. They got some beautiful planes. They got a 787 in the back too, which is nuts. I always love seeing that. Check it out, Air Force One.
This is the next one?
The old Air Force One. Let's go check it out.
Height positive.
Height positive.
Every
What the-
president's like 6'2" and above.
Check out the 707 Boeing. Check out the engine here, the flight deck. Sorry. Pretty busy. Then you got a little toilet up here. You got some communication station right here. Some safes down here. Then you got your forward galley. Served where they would make the food for the president and the crew. Some seats, very comfy seats. Let's check out these overhead bins, man. There's some sliding overhead bins. Nothing too crazy. Valet station, so all your bags and stuff would go in there. Got some seats. Presidential stateroom, so this is where the president would chill out. A lot of time. There's the bathroom there. There's a lot of couches. Yeah, pretty nice. More chilling areas, conference room, more tables, secretary station. This will be for the back. Fold down bunks, got some beds up here, which is pretty cool. I stand corrected, this is actually not a Boeing 707. Instead, it's a VC-137B. Whatever that is. Nonetheless, pretty cool. I'm gonna check out the 727 just over here. This is where you had to have those started to have those tri-engine planes, which are pretty neat if you ask me. Fortunately, it's closed today. That sucks, but it's pretty cool. You can see got a nice little Douglas DC-3 right here. This is like a FedEx cargo plane. You can check it out. Side there. Pretty cool. And there's the 787. Alrighty, let's go up that 747. Pretty exciting. This is one of the older models, the 747-100 or 200. I'm not 100% sure, but nonetheless, pretty rad. Here, they have all the seats here. They tend to have the first class seats here. They have even more, like the executive first class seats up top. A lot of space. Look at the staircase. Look at it. Spiral staircase to the top. It's interesting, yeah. Look at some of the flight attendant wear. It's cool. A lot of space in here. Of course, you know, like the roof portion of it and cabins have been taken out, so it's a lot more space, but you can imagine at the time this was a luxury to find. Check out the wing here again. Yeesh. Big bird indeed. It's really interesting to see how small these engines were compared to the new like 787 engines, and I'll show you that in just a moment. I'm just gonna get my brother to stand in front of the engine for comparison. In comparison, that's my brother. Pretty big. Video doesn't do justice just how big this is, man, but look at that size. Whew! Massive. Anyways, let's go inside, let's check it out, and let's check it out. Beautiful. Yeah, little heads-up display. So they have a lot of glass instruments here. It's a lot of electronical now, compared to some of the older planes like we saw in the Concorde and the Air Force One. Right, it's a lot more glass. You have your heads-up display just over there. Yeah, it's a pretty nice bird, man. But I think my favorite part of this aircraft is actually how the blinds work. So it's not actually, you don't have anything to pull down. Instead, you have these buttons, and I don't think they work on here, but it'll actually change the light to different shades. So depending, like when like the flight attendants, I'm assuming they can change it to like there's only a max sitting. So if it's an overnight flight, like when I went to Europe, they dimmed them down to like half, so you can't raise it, have it any brighter, so the whole cabin is a lot darker. And I think that's really cool. Nonetheless, we're gonna see a few more airplanes, and then we're probably gonna make our way back to see Drew, and from there head back to the Airbnb where we can regather our things, charge our phones, make our way downtown towards the game. And lastly here, folks, we got the Chinook, beautiful helicopter here. We also have some fighter jets here, which are starting to be local, or well, a VF-41, or actually I believe this is a F-14 Tomcat. So this was interesting because the wings actually fold in, so it can go a lot faster, which is pretty cool. Then you get some more authentic stuff here. EA6B Prowler. It's a little more chubbier, but does the job, bro. And you got A6E Intruder, which is again pretty chubby. I'm sure this was more for like surveillance than anything, right? And then the Harrier here. This is a cool plane because this plane has the capability of taking off vertically without having to go off a runway, which is really insane. You can see in this photo here, it's actually just hovering up and taking off, which is awesome. Then you have a Blue Angels plane right here as well. One last cool thing I wanted to bring it up is the DB Cooper. So it actually happened on a 727, so this exact aircraft here. If you don't know, DB Cooper is infamous for apparently robbing the plane, demanding $200,000. They landed here in Seattle. They got the $200,000. He released all the passengers and 2 flight attendants in exchange for the money and 4 parachutes. After outlining a new flight plan to Mexico, Cooper and the remaining flight crew departed Seattle to Tacoma. After Cooper instructed all the crew to stay in the cockpit, he donned his parachute strap on his briefcase with $200,000 to jump from the back of the plane at 10,000 feet, never to be seen again. An image, FBI image of money found near the Columbia River. So it's a little interesting. A lot of people think there's no way he would have survived. What do you guys think? I think he wouldn't have survived. There was just a lack of coordination on his behalf. Yo, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's actually a Boeing 777 that we saw, and I actually have a video, so I'll put the video up right now. And it's part of their new aircraft, so that was quite a treat to see.